Oh, hey everybody, how you doing? It's Paul. I am the leader of these mindless idiots here. If you join in, you can be assured that you will be one of the mindless idiots here. Okay? Everybody will tell you that because of what's going on. Okay? So let's go ahead. Let's get to Drudge. We're going to skip the Bitcoin and all that, and we'll do that in the morning. All right? All right. It's saying it's big time hot in Portland and in those parts of Oregon there. 115 degrees or something. 150 still missing, so they must have found another person. It says questions mount, skirted local codes with Penthouse. They offered me a job working at for $15 an hour, working at the Twin Towers, which are 50 stories high, which is no joke, on Brickell Avenue. First of all, I couldn't find the fucking places when they sent me down there, and I told them I didn't know where it was. They still didn't fucking care. They just said, oh, follow GPS. It's fucking impossible. It took me fucking 45 minutes of driving around with no brake lights on my car, fucking around with that. So I finally got in there. I was afraid of something like this happening. Their fucking car's parked. They took the car when I went for the interview, and they parked the fucking car in there. You know what I mean? It was like valet parking and shit. They park it in the building. It's fucked up. I didn't want it. And I told them, I said, this is too much for me. All right. It says that this condo collapse in Miami is triggering fear in coastal cities. Let's see. Cracked concrete, standing water days before the implosion on the beach. Okay, folks. I tried to tell you people about how the game has changed and how the goalposts and the playing field have shifted. Okay? Now, most of you do not understand this. You don't really see it. It's happened over a period of time, and I've met these people myself. I was working at that place, the security guard place that had Borat and Vanilla Ice, but that was the second round. They farmed me out to that place in order to get me to quit, I think. Actually, they didn't fire me, but they just stopped giving me work. So that was essentially the door out. It was one of the most egregious things I've ever seen. There's really bad people there. That was the worst outfit I have ever seen in my life, and I've been through quite a few of them. That was the worst one. Anyways, the first guy that I met when I went in there and I said, how you doing? I'm Paul. No, I take that back. The very first guy I met was a black guy who let me in the door, and he was a nice guy, although it smelled to me like he tended to drink a little bit on that third shift. But at least he was all right. He was all right. As a matter of fact, he was a nice guy. But the rest of them were evil, satanic fucking retards. Evil, satanic retards. And the nepotism, I think is what you call it. The guy that I went in that kind of trained me was one of these guys who's like a bodybuilder. He was claimed to be a professional bodybuilder. And yada, yada, yada. And he had if you needed a cup of ego, you went to see him. And, something was, I talked to him a couple of times, when we ate lunch, and he kind of trained me. His first words to me was, I said, are we going to get started? And I said, how do you like the job? He goes, I don't. That was I guess the way that he wanted to introduce himself to me. But he had kind of an odd personality. He wasn't too bad, though. You know what I mean? I never really got into it with him. And he did what he was supposed to do. And and I was late, the third day. I was late, and he was late to go home by like 40 minutes, and I couldn't help it because there was a big accident, and I got tied up in accident. I got tied up in it. I couldn't get out, and I left an hour to get to work. It took an hour and 40 minutes because they closed the road. It was awful, and I was new at the time, and I didn't want to get that guy pissed because he was all right with me, but he's the perfect example of what I'm telling you of this story. Okay, this story is scam over. Says 57% of Republicans, only 4% of Dems agree. Now, I know that some of you can't really understand ratios or anything like that, or relative terms. I can understand that. To you, maybe 57% sounds like a big number. Now look, I just went into Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is supposed to be some sort of a right-wing Christian outfit, is what I'm under the impression of, okay? And everybody is masked up so tight you can't fart. Okay, and all the employees are pressed, and all the customers are afraid to go in there not doing it. You understand? Now, 57% of Republicans, or 53, whatever it is, 57% say that the scam is over. You're talking about the problem. Do you understand? With the Democrats, you have 4% that say the scam is over because they know that the scam will require obedience and follow the Democrat suicidal agenda ad infinitum. So why should they say it's over? You understand? And I'm not a hard righty, although a lot of you will think that I am a hard righty. But I really am not. Not really. 57% means when you have a hardcore, evil Democrat Party, and they are, I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you something different, but I believe they're evil. I believe they're taking us into Bolshevism. When you've got only 57% of Republicans that think that the scam is over, first of all, it's not over. It never began. You understand? But they won't tell you that. All you'll do is get the Cheshire Cat there, who is the libertarian, independent, okay? And the only thing that means is that he doesn't know about Mike Lindell and the pillow guy. That's all. Everything else is the same. And he asks a couple more questions in order to cover his ass. And then just shakes his head and moves on. In other words, he'll get paid. It's up to us to suffer. That's what I'm trying to say. Folks, 43% of the Republicans are going along with the scam. That's what it says here. It says it's not over. You understand? The other 57% are already telling you how stupid and gutless and idiotic they are by telling you that they think something is over that never began. And that's how this guy was at that security guard job. We sat down, we had lunch one day, and we were talking about something that we were supposed to get to fly, right? But we didn't know at that time because this is like 6 months ago. It was like back in January. We didn't know we were going to need that to fly. And I kind of asked him about it, and he was telling me that his wife didn't want to get it. And he was like a Spanish white guy, and his wife was black, I think, or Cuban and black or whatever, but I think he said his wife was black. And she didn't want to get it. And he kept encouraging her to get it, and he said he was going to get it. And when when I talked to him about it, about the whole thing, he informed me that he was extremely dynamic because he had voted Democrat for a long time, but in the last election, he was so dynamic and worldly that he voted for Donald Trump. And, because he was a really free spirit, and he could do that kind of thing, and he knew that was the right thing at that time. So he considered himself a Republican, or possibly Republican, but this time he was going to vote Democratic. Okay? This time he voted for Biden. Okay? And he just thought that why take a chance? Just go ahead and force people to be asphyxiated. Just why take a chance? He was scolding his wife. His wife was at odds with him. Okay? And this guy might have been a bodybuilder, but the strength did not carry up into the cerebral cortex, if you know what I mean. Now, folks, I know I'm going along with this, and this is another one of my lectures. But I don't know if you folks really understand that when you have evil Bolshevik Democrats, there are so many of them by percentage that you cannot have half or 40% of your Republicans kowtowing in any way. It's just too stupid to talk about. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're talking about the goalposts have changed now. It's like playing a football game and they're saying, oh, well, by the way, listen, you got to get 25 yards for a first down. So, well, when did that happen? It's, don't you remember? Don't you remember? And now you need 25 yards for a first down. Well, when did that start? Well, we've been doing that for the last year and a half, 2 years. Don't you remember? It's like this is what's happening. Okay? And you mindless idiots out there, my subscriber base, of course, excluded, you folks don't understand. To you, well, at least it's a majority of the Republicans, but you've got Bolsheviks. You've got Democrat Bolsheviks. Do you understand what that means? It means they want you corralled, lassoed, controlled, and told where you can flatulate, where you can breathe, how close you can get to other people. I'm not going to go into it, okay? Believe me, only 4% of the Democrat Bolsheviks agree that the scam is over. I'm surprised it's 4%. That's a high number. Do you understand, folks? If you're going to escape the carnage that we're going through now on liberty and freedom, well, it's not that bad. What if you have a job where you have to fly and you do not feel like doing something in order to be able to fly? You fucking assholes, is there something wrong with your fucking brains? Well, might as well. 57% of the Republicans feel like, this is under control. You're fucking mindless idiots just like them. Folks, I made a video last night. I tried to express to you, in World War II, those German people were decent people. Basically, they were basic people. You know what the problem was with them? They were fucking dupes. They were mindless fucking EU idiots. Do you understand? Mindless EU stoops. You understand? Why? Because I can't get it because I don't want to waste your time. But all you have to do is look at the fucking map of the USSR Russia and listen to a madman tell you that after millions and millions of your brethren German men were taken captive by the fucking Russians, taken captive into a POW camp, by the way, was a ticket to a death camp. You understand? It might have taken this forced labor in many cases, okay? The same way in Germany. The Germans did not treat the Russians very well either. The Americans were lucky, especially the crews, the air crews. The Germans did tend to stick to the Geneva Convention for the American pilots and crews. Not always, but more likely than not. There was like an honor among them, if you can call it that. The Russians, they did not consider human. They didn't consider them human beings. They didn't. Hitler did not consider them to be human. He considered them to be some kind of an odd creature. I'm not kidding you. You go look for yourself. Look at his memoirs. He thought the British could be saved, but not the Russians. The Russians were already polluted and contaminated by equality, over obsession of equality, which never works. It's against human nature. Anyways, so that's why I showed you in the video yesterday, they were decent people. The problem was they were stupid. They followed what they were being told. They followed it. They didn't care. They thought they knew what they were doing. So they followed and they obeyed. And they just said, well, we've got, 3 million people already taken captive in those Russian POW camps. Well, I guess I'll go to it because they called me to get out of the Air Force and I'm being recruited into the HEER, which was their army, to go out to the east, to Russia. To crack Stalingrad. Fucking Stalingrad. I've watched pictures of it. Do you know how many men it would have taken how many men it would have taken on top of tanks? Fucking Stalingrad, the Russians were smart. Where they knew that the Germans were going to need to take as they went, they were going to need supplies, Stalin burned everything. So they had nothing. They had to rely on their supply lines. The Germans had to do that, and they were gone because they penetrated too deeply into Russia, and they were cut off. So, as a result, most of them died. Most of them, they died either by freezing to death, starving to death, or being taken into the POW camps and dying there. And when the Russians were pressed by the Red Cross and other organizations, they said, they attacked us. We're trying to take care of them, but we're fighting a war with them. We can't treat them real equal because we're fighting their fucking people who keep coming over. So they had Germany shoved up their ass. They couldn't take care of the fucking prisoners. They were dying at an alarming rate. But you see, the people didn't know that in Germany, or they didn't care because they knew what they were doing at the top. They knew what they were doing. Same way here now. You people don't want to see. You don't want to use your brains. This goes against everything that's been shown in history. Everything. I won't get into it anymore. Now I feel better that I got that out. But at least we have 57% of the Republicans that think that the scam's over. The scam's over. The scam's over. And so it was real bad for a while, but now it's over. You fucking dickless fucking retards. I'd like to slap every one of you across your fucking face. Every one of you. You cocksuckers. You fucking good-for-nothing pieces of shit. That's what I think of you. You fucking Republicans up there. One's dumber than the fucking next. Fucking idiots. Relying on you is like fucking... We're done with that, okay? I'm sorry. I really am. I really am sorry that I have to be like this. There's no hope. 57% against what? The rest of your fucking brain-dead Republicans who are buying into it? And you too, it's just that you think it's over now? You fucking morons. Makes me sick. Okay. Passenger frustration mounts as lines get longer and understaffed at airports. Let me guess. Are they trying to, check your papers? Are they checking your papers? Is it? Or no? Or do you want that as an extra security measure? Right? You fucking mindless douchebags? God damn it! You fucking mindless idiots! We're doomed! Thanks to you fucking idiots! My 9 subscribers excluded! Well, it says that you're going to be fired by a bot next time, that the bots will be the managers now, so that's something to look forward to. White House prepping big assault on monopolies. That's to make things more equal. Okay? And when you do that, it always has unintended consequences. Okay? We won't go any further on that. That's Bolshevism. It's starting. Okay? So, not that I don't partially agree. Okay? What was it? Mike Levitt or whatever his name is, John Levitt or whoever that right-wing idiot is. You can't talk about him because he thinks he's smarter than everyone else. He's dumb as a fucking box of rocks. Yeah, something needs to be done about Amazon. Oh, he says just leave it alone. Commerce will take care of itself. They get every kind of fucking perk you can imagine. You can't even imagine what fucking Amazon gets. They're snuffing out 90% of the businesses right now. Well, it's because they do everything right. Well, that may be. But they have the power to do it because of the financial rubbing up against the fucking government policies. So in that way, I do agree with Joe Biden on that. I do. I'm sorry to tell you that. Well, no, you have to have free enterprise. Not when it comes to capitalist cronyism, which exactly is what it is. We already told you about the U.S. Olympian and Black Lives Matter activist turning away from the U.S. flag on the podium. She's not going to win any friends. Truly. It's just too outrageous because it's clear that it's all about her, and it's not really her. I don't think she's too terribly swift. She's a figurehead and being urged into things by others who are urging her on. That's my guess. I'm only guessing on that, okay? Well, Dianne Feinstein, the senator, I believe, her Tahoe compound is on sale for $41 million, if you're interested. Okay? More psych ops. Inside Wuhan's labs, rumbling sewers and filthy cages. More nonsense to get you folks convinced that this is legitimate. I'm not going to go into it. Highly contagious. It's like an airline. It's like, it also is like a flat lands. I think they call it these flat lands, and it's an airline. I'm not going to mention it. It says that variance is spreading alarmingly fast. We may have to do something about that and give you no choice because it's spreading. Mindless idiots. I'm sure you're willing to do anything they tell you, of course, right? Yeah, because you're one of the 57% of the Republicans who think it's over. You fucking mindless jackasses. Fucking dupes. I'm really having a hard time today, folks. I'm sorry. Because I realize we're doomed. When I read this earlier, it said 57% of the Republicans think that the scam is over. I mean, it's exactly what I've been saying to you. Let's keep going. Hospitals struggle with jammed ERs after exodus of nurses. Well, I can teach you how to use a weed eater and make dozens of dollars every day. Come on over, I'll set you up in full. Free training. Thousands stranded in Bangladesh. I have sweeping lockdown. That can only be a good thing, folks. Can only be a good thing. It'll protect you and others from themselves. They're so stupid. Mexico top court decriminalizes recreational marijuana use. It says birds are suddenly dying across the Midwest. Government bailouts plagued by potential $260 billion in fraud. Fat fight. New weight loss tool prevents mouth from opening more than 2 centimeters. Citing racism, UN rights chief seeks reparation for blacks. Study bullshitting. This is what it says here. Sign of intelligence. Cops. Man threatens to blow up McDonald's over missing dipping sauce. Well, damn it, get it right next time. What do we have to do? Can you blame the guy? I like those dipping sauce. I like 2 or 3 of them, as a matter of fact. So you can take those little chicken McNuggets that are 20 for $3 or whatever it is. They can only do you good. You know, these people who keep saying that they take a crap and they see gray lines all in their fecal matter and they don't know what it is. It looks metallic. What the hell do you think is in there? Can't eat that kind of stuff. Especially from them. I'm sorry. I mean, that's just my opinion. But, I mean, I love them too, but I won't eat them. Because, you know, bad things start occurring. You know, sometimes. World's oldest person, aged 119, credits diet of butter, honey, cheese, and eggs. Possible. So, you know, some smoke cigars or chew snuff or whatever, right? It's possible. Who knows? Nude sunbathers fined in Australia for violating the scam lockdown after deer scared them into forest. Okay, so there you have it. Much to do about nothing. The only thing I could do is just get my, it's not frustration, it's doomed hopelessness for a bunch of stupid people. And you may be one. Will we ever get back? The answer, simply, no. There's no hypothetical route. There's only going to be more scams and more variable scams that are very, very dangerous that will never end. until somebody thinks to say, hey, you know what? Let's sit down. I want to really, really take a good look at this, okay? And we're going to go over it with a fine-tooth comb. No, they'll never do it. Take care, folks. Bye.